Fennel, your lavender latte is ready. Yes, fennel, like the herb. If that's not you, don't fake it.
I still can't tell if she's joking or just really into herbal names.
I don't think she jokes. I think she's just permanently on a different wavelength.
Reminder, beautiful people, 1 week until our annual portrait event. Bring your best face, or your most dramatic frown. All expressions welcome.
All right, spill it. How was the interview?
Unreal. You're not going to believe this. He showed up in a full dinosaur costume.
Wait, what?
Tail, scales, the whole prehistoric package. Just sitting there in the library like it was business as usual.
Please tell me you snapped a picture.
No, but I probably should've. He was surprisingly deep. The costume was just the opening act.
So under the T-Rex exterior, what, a philosopher?
Something like that. He called himself a poet, a puppeteer, and a failed serial-themed escape room designer. But he had this way of making the absurd sound kind of profound.
You've mentioned this interview like 4 times now. What is it about this guy that's sticking with you?
I don't know. He was just different. Unapologetically different. Like he showed up to life as the most him version of himself and didn't care who noticed.
Okay, but you've interviewed street magicians and a guy who swore he was part goat. What made this one different?
He said something that kind of hit me. You don't have to match the room. You just have to show up in it.
Wow, that's really good. Weirdly good. For a guy dressed like Extinction Denial.
Right, it caught me off guard. I've been thinking about it ever since.
Banana hammock, your espresso is crying for you. Come claim it before it dies of abandonment.
I swear she gets weirder every time we come here.
I think she's just in her element. Like Delmore. Like, maybe they're both just living their truth at full volume.
Okay, philosopher. But real question, are you living your truth? Or are you still just taking notes on everyone else's?
Reminder, portrait event next week. Be bold, be brave, be excessively moistured.
By the way, are you still coming to that poetry night? With your friend and her coworker?
Yeah, Lizzie invited me, and I guess she's bringing someone from her office. Should be interesting.
Interesting, huh? Like good poetry and wine interesting or awkward double introverts silently nodding interesting?
Could go either way. But I think I need it. A night out. A room full of honest words.
Honest words and poetic stares. Portrait event next week, folks. Your aura better be camera ready.
You've been a little, I don't know, different lately. Ever since that day at the train station.
Yeah, I can't explain it, Jess. I just keep thinking about that moment, like it was nothing but it wasn't.
You mean that guy you talked to?
I didn't even get his name. But something about the way we talked, it felt rare, like the kind of connection that usually only happens in books.
Typhoon, your match is ready. If you are a weather system, I'm honored.
I swear, she's got a list of chaos names back there.
I just keep wondering if I'll ever see him again.
Well, if you do, maybe don't forget to ask for his name this time.
Noted.
You're glowing a little, you know that?
I think it's just the lighting.
Or maybe it's hope. Either way, I like it.
These things track your heartbeat, but they can't tell you if it's broken. Useless.
You ever meet someone who just throws your sense of normal out the window?
What? Like someone who eats pizza with a fork?
No, like a guy in a full dinosaur costume, at the library, talking philosophy.
Okay, that's new. What kind of dinosaur? Because that matters.
Hard to say, he was missing the headpiece, but the confidence was full T-Rex.
What was his deal, though? Just some eccentric guy with a costume and a quote of the day habit?
Oversized orange getup, bald, full beard, called the look Extinction Denial, said the tail was symbolic.
Was this real life or a fever dream?
Still undecided.
Think this makes me look like a man with vision or just one desperately trying to fix bad lighting?
Depends. You trying to light up your soul or your forehead?
Forehead's easier. Soul's backordered.
You find what you were looking for?
I came in for a charger. Now I'm questioning my entire personality.
Yeah, this place'll do that.
What about you? You looking for something?
Maybe. Not sure they sell clarity in aisle 5, though.
Probably locked up next to the peace of mind section. Requires manager approval.
Figures. I keep walking into places thinking I'll find something I'm not even sure I lost.
Deep. You hungry?
Starving.
Cool. Let's go get something that doesn't require a user manual. Poetry night. Please tell me you're not performing.
Relax. I'm just going. Not rhyming about existential dread or anything.
Thank God. I'm not emotionally prepared to hear you whisper about taxes under mood lighting.
Lizzie's dragging me and one of her friends.
Dragging? Huh? Is this friend a guy or a girl?
No clue.
So it's either a setup or a social ambush.
Either way, I've been roped in. No turning back now.
I told the pigeon he couldn't borrow my chapstick, and now he's holding a grudge.
They're petty creatures. Never forget a slight, or a breadcrumb.
No, I'm serious. His hair stood up like it had an opinion. I didn't know you could offend conditioner like that.
She's mid-monologue again. I think this one involves birds and betrayal.
Breadcrumbs are currency in their world. I once paid rent in croutons.
Crunchy bribes go a long way, especially with squirrels. They run the underground.
And then he asked if it looked intentional. I said, sure, if your goal was electrocuted hedgehog chic.
The guy next to her just nodded, like he understood every word. He's either enlightened, or deeply committed to improv.
That one right there, he's been following me for 2 blocks. He wants my secrets.
Never trust a shrub with ambition.
Girl, yes. I said, if you're gonna come at me with energy like that, at least moisturize first. He had the crustiest confidence I've ever seen.
She talks like the world is her stage. I envy it sometimes. Wish I could be that unfiltered for even 5 minutes.
See those cars? Metal judgment capsules. Everyone pretending they've got it together, like they didn't just cry to a sad playlist this morning.
Judgment is fear wearing business casual.
That one's good. Did you make it up?
No, dreamt it, right after I had tea with a time-traveling raccoon.
I wish I was joking. His eyebrows looked like they were trying to crawl off his face.
I'll wait a bit longer. She's in a groove, the kind that either ends with a poem or a dance-off.
I wrote a haiku once that made a seagull weep. That's when I knew words had power.
I once made a librarian question the meaning of her index system. Just by standing still.
Wait, he said his look was chaotic but intentional. I said he looked like a crisis in denim.
Yeah, she's laughing now. That's good. Some days she's not. Some days she just stares at the sky like it said something rude.
I like this corner. It doesn't expect anything from you. You can just exist.
Some places are built for the loud ones. Others are built for the ones who don't know where to go next.
Maybe this one's for the in-betweeners. The ones who don't quite fit but still show up.
Wearing orange.
And carrying snacks.
Emotional and edible.
Did that street lamp just wink at me?
They do that sometimes, especially when they approve of your vibe.
Alright, I gotta go. Tell him next time he uses mousse, not motor oil.
Yeah, I'll call you later. I'm gonna make sure they don't wander into traffic.
They vanish like mist, but with better shoes.
The loud one's got fire in her laugh. The quiet one, she walks like she's holding a secret and a grocery list.
Explosions wrapped in calm. My favorite kind.
Do you ever feel like the world's a stage, but you're the only one without a script?
I stopped waiting for a script. Improv feels more honest.
That's because you were born on a Wednesday. All great improvisers are.
Wednesdays, the unsung jazz of the week.
Monday's too grumpy. Friday tries too hard. But Wednesday shows up with a crooked tie and a brilliant idea.
Middle child of the calendar. Overlooked. Unbothered.
They left, but they'll be back. Not here, maybe, but near enough to matter.
Some people circle you like echoes. You don't see them, but you feel when they pass through.
I like the ones who pass through. They leave just enough behind to wander.
Breadcrumbs of being. Invisible notes in the air.
Exactly. You get it. Most people just ask if I'm talking to myself.
You're not. You're talking to the parts of the world that listen better in silence.
Some of the best conversations I've ever had never made a sound.
And some of the best people I've met were never trying to be seen.
Welcome back to QuickTune Gallery News. Tonight, we are recapping episode 9 of Life in a Transit, titled Unscripted.
And if you thought things were getting weirder, you're right. But somehow, it all makes sense in this world. Dinosaurs, poetry flyers, emotional clarity, it's a buffet of the unexpected.
We kick things off at a cozy cafe, where Carla and Jessica are catching up over coffee while Concordia the barista delivers drinks and existential announcements with dramatic flair.
Carla opens up about a recent interview that stuck with her, not because of credentials, but because the man showed up dressed as a dinosaur and left sounding like a philosopher. That man, of course, was Delmore.
And while Jessica jokes about extinct wisdom in espresso orders named Banana Hammock, Carla can't quite shake something Delmore said. You don't have to match the room. You just have to show up in it.
From there, we cut to a tech store where Scott tells Steve about a very similar dinosaur encounter. Same man, same message, same confusing impact. And no, Scott's not shopping for gadgets. He's looking for clarity, though aisle 5 was a bust.
Their banter stays sharp. Steve wants a charger, leaves questioning his personality. Scott wonders if purpose is behind the display case with the ring lights. It's funny, it's oddly profound, and it's totally on brand.
Then we land at Dada's diner, where Scott and Steve sit across from each other, trying to make sense of poetry night. Scott's been roped in. Steve is terrified Scott might actually read poetry about accounting. It's a whole thing.
But the scene that defines the episode comes last, on a street corner, where Dottie and Delmore reunite in what can only be described as beautifully bizarre brilliance.
They talk about pigeons with grudges, squirrels running secret economies, and street lamps that flirt. But under all the absurdity, they speak real truth about identity, loneliness, and the quiet power of showing up as yourself.
And it all fits the title, Unscripted. Every character this week is drifting slightly off course, searching, wondering, improvising their way through connection, memory, and meaning.
It's a reminder that sometimes the best parts of life don't follow a script. They happen in passing glances, unexpected conversations, and yes, even in dinosaur suits.
That's it for this week's recap. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you're ready for the next twist in life in a transit.
And if your local philosopher shows up in orange, maybe grab a notepad. Or at least a snack.